to try to keep you from knowing who she is. Kamala Harris has not done a press conference. I lost track of the days. What are we in? Day 16, 17, 18, 19. We're well past 2 weeks since Kamala Harris became the Democratic nominee for president. And she has, she's played the old game show, I've Got a Secret. She's released statements through surrogates saying she no longer holds positions that she used to hold. She has not done a press conference. She has not really spoken off teleprompter unless there were helicopter blades whirring or jet engines grinding. And so it's not a surprise that she picked Governor Tim Walz of Minnesota to be her vice presidential running mate, because he's got a secret too. He's got a lot of secrets like she does. Their policy positions, which are not articulated on Kamala Harris's official website. I'll play tape for you to indicate why that is as the show progresses here today on a Thursday edition of the Bruce Hooley Show. But Tim Walz has a secret, and it shouldn't be a secret, or shouldn't have been a secret, when Kamala Harris picked him to be her vice presidential nominee. Tim Walz has a little problem called stolen valor. He has, throughout his political career, portrayed himself as something he is not, just like Kamala Harris is now trying to portray herself as a moderate, as a cool wine mom, as hip with it, fun, which she is not. If you've listened to her the last 3 years plus during her vice presidency, you know she is not fun. She is a vapid, stupid, empty-headed idiot who does not have an idea and does not have any political sense. That's why she did not get a single delegate when running for president in 2020. Tim Walz, on his official bio on his gubernatorial website in Minnesota, says that Command Sergeant Major Walz retired from the Minnesota National Guard in 2005. At that time, he was serving as one of the highest-ranking members of the 125th Field Artillery Battalion. And that sounds really great, except it's not true. Because Tim Walz was not a command sergeant major. He was instead demoted. And why was he demoted? Because he did not take the training to complete his promotion, and also because he did not accompany his National Guard unit to Iraq when it was deployed. Just a little bit of a problem for a guy who is at the top of the food chain and is a leader, purportedly, of such a unit. Now, I guess in 2 weeks it's hard to vet your vice presidential candidates, except that this is not the first time that Tim Walz's military career has come up for scrutiny. When he campaigned for governor in 2018 in his second term, it came up. 2 retired senior officials in the Minnesota National Guard made it an issue then on Facebook. It goes back, this controversy does, to when he first campaigned for Congress in like 2006. So this underscores the fact that not only is Walz a liar, which Kamala's a liar, so they fit together perfectly there, but that Walz is an over-liar, just like Kamala Harris. Remember I played the tell for you on the air where when she was asked about Joe Biden, is he competent to be the president of the United States? She can't just say, yeah, of course he's competent to be the president of the United States. Oh, what, are you crazy? Like, that's a stupid thing for you to say. Why would you say that? She's like, oh, he is so amazing in meetings. He does this, that, and the other. I've seen him work out and play the accordion at the same time while singing from, Beethoven's symphony. Like, I mean, she has to just like go on and on and on and on. She does this all the time. And the more she talks, the less believable she is. And Tim Walz is the same kind of person. No wonder they hit it off in their meeting on Sunday when they met. And they were said to be like just kindred spirits. Yes, I guess. Birds of a feather flock together, including dirty birds, it seems, because Tim Walz is now taking a lot of heat because military veterans do not like stolen valor. And the contrast between Tim Walz and J.D. Vance is quite stark in our favor on the Republican side of the ticket. It's funny. J.D. Vance served in the Marines in the Middle East, and they're trying to disparage J.D. Vance by saying, well, he never really served at a forward combat unit. He never carried a weapon. He did carry a weapon. When you're in the Middle East, you're kind of in a dangerous area. Is there a case? I wouldn't doubt Democrats will try to make it, that it is more courageous, more demonstrable of a person's valor that they quit on their unit when deployed to Iraq rather than actually going and serving in uniform as a Marine? I suppose Democrats will try to make that point. I invite them to, although I'm not really sure they will make that point because, as you well know, Kamala Harris has not faced a microphone. She's as afraid of a live microphone as Tim Walz was of going to Iraq, which brought about a delicious moment yesterday when J.D. Vance happened to be in Wisconsin, and he noticed that Kamala Harris was also in Wisconsin. This is a brilliant strategy, by the way, for Vance to follow Kamala Harris and Tim Walz around the country on their little get-to-know-us tour. Vance is in Wisconsin. He's getting off his plane. He notices the vice presidential plane, and he notices the lonely, abandoned Kamala Harris press corps because he knows she's not going to go over and talk to them. And so Vance walks over and he talks to Kamala Harris's press corps, trolling her, first of all, about her plane, and then about the loneliness of those who attempt to follow her but cannot get to her because she won't answer a single one of their questions.
I just wanted to check out my future plane, but I also wanted to go say hello to the vice president and ask her why Kamala Harris why does she refuse to answer questions from the media? And I also thought that the press gaggle following her might get a little lonely. I at least have enough respect for you all and for the American people you report to come and talk to you and to answer some questions. And so I thought her reporters might actually benefit from that as well. So had a little bit of fun. I don't think the vice president waved at me as she drove away, but I'm glad to have done it. And I'm glad to be here in Wisconsin actually trying to persuade people to vote for us as opposed to just giving another scripted speech.
Yeah, she gave the same scripted speech yesterday that she gave the day before. And the longer this goes, look, I don't subscribe to the theory that a lot of people do, that eventually she'll have to answer questions. No, I don't really think eventually she will. I think this was the strategy all along. Let's run Biden if we can. If his poll numbers get really, really bad, we'll replace him at the last minute. We'll stab him in the back with the Barack Obama Ginsu knife collection. And then we'll have such a short time until the presidential election, barely like a month and a half to stall before early voting begins, that we'll just never put Kamala out there. She won't have to run from her positions because we have a complicit media who won't chase her down. And they have a complicit media who won't chase her down because that complicit media wants her to be elected. I was thinking about this and how the press can hold its head up high after being thoroughly embarrassed by not reporting on Joe Biden's infirmity for 3 years. And it's a little bit like the press is a domestic abuse victim. Now, look, I'm not trying to soft pedal domestic abuse. It's a terrible thing, but it's a fact of life that very often the abused party, because they have been broken down psychologically and emotionally by their abuser, we always wonder, like, why did you go back home? Why did you go back? Why would you subject yourself to that? In that situation, of course, it's much more severe and much more deplorable that someone is so separated from safety and the reality of how they can obtain safety that they go back for more punishment. But in the case of the press here, they are the domestic abuse victim of democratic disdain for what they do. They're complicit in it. They're like, thank you, sir. May I have another? We lied and lied and lied to the American people and further compromised our standing with the American people, which is hard to do given how people view the press as incompetent and in the bag for Democrats. And now with Kamala Harris, rather than gripe about the fact that, hey, you're the new nominee, what's your position on this? What about your You flip-flopped on fracking. You flip-flopped on the border. You flip-flopped on every issue that's made you unlikable in the past. And like 3 weeks before we found out Biden was a moron, we were debating whether or not he could dump you from the ticket. They don't have any interest in following up any of that. They just want to be slapped around again by Kamala Harris and the Democratic machine. And if they're not going to push back on it, I doubt it's going to change. So I think if you're waiting for her to be forced to talk, you might be waiting a long time, and it may never happen.
Mostly cloudy and humid this afternoon. High today at 89. Evening thunderstorm in the area tonight. Otherwise, clouds and more. Low 72. Partly sunny, humid tomorrow. The high 84. Tomorrow, light clear to partly cloudy. Low 57. Saturday, sunny to partly cloudy. Less humid day. High at 76. Sunshine, terrific day on Sunday. High at 77. Some occasional sunshine on Monday.
Crazy. How do you lose pens
I'm
like
Steve
this?
Williams on 98.9 FM. The Answer.
The Tilton family at Tilton's Automotive Service has been serving our community with state-of-the-art equipment for nearly 35 years. From oil changes to detailing to complete engine replacement, we're here to serve you to the highest levels and make you part of the family. All our repairs are backed by a 36-month, 36,000-mile warranty. Check out our mobile app for discounts and specials. Tilton's Automotive Service, in the shadow of Anheuser-Busch in Columbus and just off Creekside in Gahanna. For more info, check out tiltonsauto.com. Take it to Tilton's.
Are you struggling to lose weight, exhausted by noon, or battling a chronic illness that traditional medicine is failing to find the cause to? You're not alone. At 35, I found myself depressed, exhausted, angry, and seldom having normal bowel movements. It wasn't until my wife and I found Revive Metabolics that I received real answers and real results. You see, traditional testing looks to treat the symptom with more medication, but with Revive Metabolics, we test for over 109 different metabolic pathways seeking to find where the glitch might be. With customized nutrition, supplementation, and lifestyle protocols, we allow your body to heal the way that it was intended. To schedule your free phone metabolics consult, call us at 614-781-8808 or visit revivemetabolics.com. That's Revive, METABOLIX.com.
Oh, honey, it's our favorite leak filter trusted pro, Matt. Matt, come in, come in.
Hi, Mrs. Sparks. You wanted me to stop by? Is everything okay with your leaf filter gutter protection system?
Okay, of course, silly. We wanted you to stop by for dinner as our way of thanking you.
Yes, to thank you for that free gutter inspection, the free estimate, and what was the other thing?
That lifetime guarantee.
Well, Mr. and Mrs. Sparks, those are just Leaf Filter's policies. Everyone who calls Leaf Filter gets a trusted pro to come out for a free gutter inspection and estimate. And every Leaf Filter installation comes with a lifetime guarantee.
So it's not just us?
No, sir. We don't want anyone to worry about clogged gutters ever again.
You mean everyone gets this level of service?
Everyone. They just need to visit leaffilter.com/Gallagher to schedule their free inspection.
Okay, but you must be starving. You work so hard.
Ready to love your gutter protection as much as we do? Visit leaffilter.com/Gallagher and get up to 30% off today.
See representative for warranty details. Promotion is 20% off plus a 10% senior or military discount. One discount per household.
If you're a business owner and a listener to The Answer, you might not realize that the conservative news and talk content that you enjoy is advertiser supported. Our loyal audience loves to do business with the advertisers who make our programming possible. Now, it probably won't surprise you that there are some advertisers who avoid The Answer because they don't like what we do here. That's their loss because our listeners are eager to support advertisers who support our conservative programming. To learn how to reach our audience with your business's message and support this station, please contact me at 614-318-0401 or click on How to Advertise at 989theanswer.com. That's 989theanswer.com. And remember, when you advertise on 989 The Answer, our loyal audience know that you care about our programming as much as they do.
Spent a couple hours last night putting together invoices for a customer of mine at brucehooley.com/flooring in Dublin, and we're going to get their office, living room, and dining room taken care of. We love helping people who want to understand the fact that you don't have to go to a big box store to get great flooring. Carpet, luxury vinyl plank, Another client came into the office last night. I met them after hours. I'm more than happy to do that for you too. It's easy. I live very close to the store. Would love to help you, give you a private shepherding through all the different brands that we offer and explain to you the differences in prices and show you the fact that we can compete with anyone out there because our installers are better than the competition and because we don't have the expensive overhead. We don't have the expensive fancy wrap vehicles. We don't have a high rent location. So if you want to save money and get beautiful flooring in your home, please give me a chance. I'd love to meet you. I'd love to show you what we have. BruceHooley.com/flooring, BruceHooley.com, or click the flooring tab in the upper right-hand corner of the page. Now, Donald Trump is going to do something today that is genius. I don't know if I've ever heard of another candidate doing this. It's a thing called a, let me check again my notes, make sure I know what exactly this is. Oh, here it is, a press conference. Donald Trump is doing a press conference today. Donald Trump is not afraid. Donald Trump enjoys interacting with you. You say, well, I'm not talking to Trump today. No, you kind of are, because the press is your conduit to the candidates. And if a candidate won't talk to the press, then what they're effectively saying is they don't want to talk to you. That is what Kamala Harris is saying. And if someone doesn't want to talk to you, is it a reasonable assumption that either A, they don't care about you, B, they don't think that you're smart enough to grasp what they have to say, or C, they have something to hide that they don't want you to know. In Kamala Harris's case, the things she has to hide cannot be obscured by a pantsuit as large as even the one that she wears every single day from the Mao Zedong collection. So I find this ingenious by Trump. They're not going to be able to gain leverage with the media to put pressure on Kamala Harris to come out and answer questions unless they themselves do this so often that the press gets mad that only Trump and only Vance are getting publicity. Because here's the thing, Trump is compelling. You never know what he's going to say. You can't ignore him, right? You've got to show up. Kamala is not talking to you and not talking to the press essentially for the same reason. She feels like she doesn't need the press because she doesn't need to give her time to the press, because she feels like the press, and she's not wrong, will continue to carry water for her and continue to feed you a line of bunk about her being a moderate or bringing new hope to the country or her being a better version of Obama or any of the other platitudes that they bring out about her. And they expect you to swallow it hook, line, and sinker. The press has a great deal of influence over the electorate. But if Trump and Vance come out and have press conferences, then I think that's the best chance that the Republican ticket has to pressure the Democratic ticket into departing from what is essentially the same basement strategy that Joe Biden employed in 2020. This time, there's not COVID to hide behind. There's not an old, addled, infirm, mush brain candidate at the top of the ticket. Well, I'm wrong. There is a mush brain candidate at the top of the ticket. It's just a younger mush brain candidate at the top of the ticket. Here's Kellyanne Conway, who was big in Trump's campaign in 2016 and in 2020, talking about Trump's strategy today.
Why it's important for her to answer questions is she's lying from the podium. She's saying things like, I'm going to bring down prices on gas and groceries on day one. How about doing it on day 1,050? You've been there for 3.5 years. She's lying about Iran, and she's I think gaslighting the country from the comfort of a teleprompter and a podium. Very smart for Trump to have a press conference today.
Yeah, if you missed that yesterday, Kamala on the campaign trail did indeed say that she is really going to prioritize inflation on day one of her presidency. Let me check my notes. Oh, here we are. We're in day 1,315 of her presidency today. Would it be a good idea for her to maybe do something about inflation today? Here's the comment from yesterday about, yeah, that inflation thing. I hear real Americans are bothered by that. I'm going to get to that eventually.
President, it will be a day one priority to fight to bring down prices, strengthening our economy, and building up the middle class will be a defining goal of my presidency.
It will be a defining goal of her presidency. Well, okay. Let me play a cut of Kamala expounding on inflation in response to a direct question. This is less than a month ago. Before she was the candidate at the top of the ticket, she was asked about inflation and what she would do to get inflation under control. And you tell me, from judging from this clip, if she sounds equipped to make battling inflation something that she could make a defining part of her presidency.
What else are you going to do to fix this problem with inflation?
All right, thank you. Well, let's start with this.
Let's start.
Prices have gone up.
Wow.
And families and individuals are dealing with the realities of
what?
Bread costs more, the gas costs more. And we have to understand what that means.
We do? What is it?
That's about the cost of living.
It is. Wow.
That's about having to stress and stretch limited resources.
Stress and
That's
stretch.
about a source of stress for families that is not only economic, but is on a daily level, something that is a heavy weight to carry. So it is something that we take very seriously.
Oh, very seriously. Yeah.
Very seriously.
Very seriously.
And we know from the history of this issue in the United States that when you see these prices go up,
what happens? Tell me.
It has a direct impact on the quality of life.
Does?
All people in our country. So it's a big issue, and we take it seriously. And it is a priority, therefore.
I know your concerns are gone now, right? I mean, they're totally alleviated. Like, you're ready to, like, if you could vote early today, you'd go vote for that, wouldn't you? Why would you not? Inflation means bread costs more and gas costs more. It's a heavy weight. It's a burden. Take it very seriously. Very seriously. She said it twice. Imagine how seriously she's taking it if she said it twice. Not just economically. Again, whoever came up with the moniker for her that every time she speaks, she sounds like someone giving a book report on a book she hasn't read. That is so dead on the money. Inflation. Oh, inflation. I would just love to just boil it down real simple, as I've said before. Somebody at a press conference go, Madam Vice President, could you tell me what inflation is and what causes it? If she gets what inflation is, the increase in prices month over month or year over year from the previous year. If she gets that right, then say, what causes it? And the cause is, of course, rampant government overspending. She doesn't know that.
With SRN News, I'm Rich Thomason. There's a second landfall early today in South Carolina for Tropical Storm Debbie, dumping massive amounts of rain, also spawning deadly tornadoes. Searchers have found a body in a tornado-wrecked home in Wilson County, North Carolina, about 35 miles southeast of Raleigh. And that raises the storm's death toll to 7. Austrian authorities say both the suspects in a foiled plot to attack Taylor Swift concerts in Vienna were apparently inspired by ISIS and Al-Qaeda. They say investigators found bomb-making materials at one of their homes. In light of the threat, several Swift concerts were canceled in Vienna. We'll hear from former President Trump later today. He's planning a news conference from his Florida home. On Wall Street, the Dow is up 566 points, gain of 1.5%. The NASDAQ, 351 points higher. This is SRN News.
Americans now have more credit card debt than any time in history, owing a staggering $1.3 trillion collectively. What happens when most people can't pay their bills? Well, the U.S. economy is clearly moving into uncertain territory. That's why more Christians are turning to gold just for their peace of mind. I'm Lance Walnut, Christian news analyst with a 30-year track record of predicting trends. The Bible tells us that gold is a time-tested store of value that can protect your God-given assets through almost anything, including America's historic debt bubble. And here's the good news. You can own gold through your 401k or IRA. My friends at Birch Gold Group can help you buy gold for your retirement account, tax-free and penalty-free. To learn more, text the word FAITH to 989898 for an info kit from Birch Gold that's entirely free, zero cost or obligation. Text that next step right now and take it. Text FAITH to the number 989898 for your free info kit. That's FAITH to 98.
Hi, it's Bruce Hooley, and I hope you'll join me every day, 11 to 1, for the Bruce Hooley Show. A lot of consequential issues that we have to talk about. It's a transformational time in our country, and you want to understand all the issues. That's what I hopefully help you do. Bruce Hooley Show, 11 to 1, Monday through Friday on 9890theanswer.com.
I'm CPA Brad Hennebert with Premier Tax CPAs. And the true value of using a CPA is getting guidance throughout the year, not just at tax time. During the year, we can actively advise you on your financial and tax planning and other major business decisions, just like an outside CFO. Too often, when you see your accountant only at tax time, we're really only keeping score of what you did last year. We'll prepare a comprehensive tax plan to maximize your deductions and minimize the tax you pay, and present you with money-saving options you may not have ever considered. We'll update your financial position each quarter, so there are no nasty surprises at tax time. At Premier Tax CPAs, we like to have consultations with our clients throughout the year because important financial information is only useful if it's timely. At Premier Tax CPAs, we're a firm that can work with you and your business throughout the year to help you make decisions before it's too late. Give us a call at Premier Tax CPAs at 614-524-4888. That's 614-524-4888.
You'll sleep better knowing you got a great deal on a great mattress because you got it from Mac Mattress Outlet and the Discount Shopping Club. Right now, get a $500 certificate from Mac Mattress Outlet for any mattress purchase for only $250. These certificates go fast, and when they're gone, they're gone. For details, log on to the Discount Shopping Club at 9890theanswer.com.
News, opinion, passion. Here, 98.9 FM, The Answer. Anywhere you go with The Answer's mobile app at 9890theanswer.com. Also on your smart speakers, TuneIn, or iHeart.
I have two calls set up today with people who've gone to patriotswish.com/Bruce and expressed their interest in joining the private shopping club. Very affordable. The annual membership fee is $19. It's like a third, a fifth of what they charge at Costco or Sam's Club. And the store is the manufacturer. The manufacturer is the store. Think of it as an outlet store. Wouldn't you love to walk into an outlet store and really get outlet prices? Oftentimes you go in, you're like, I can pay this at Dick's Sporting Goods for these pair of Nikes or Skechers. No, that's not the way patriotswitch.com works. The products are 35 to 50% off when you are a member. You don't have to be a member to buy them, but what you'd save on one item would fund your membership fee for the year. And the products are plant-based, good for you, good for the environment, and you'll get tremendous response. My girls love the makeup, body lotion, personal care items, mouthwash, and toothpaste. My wife loves the laundry detergent, the dishwashing liquid that you put in your dishwasher or in the sink. Great products. You're already buying them. Why not buy them from a family-owned patriotic company? patriotswitch.com/Bruce, patriotswitch.com/Bruce. Oh, the demons are very unhappy with the ruling out of Franklin County Common Pleas Court by the worst judge in Franklin County, Michael Holbrook. I know, Judge Holbrook, you're trying to dig your way out of my designating you as the worst judge in Franklin County, but you got a few more sane verdicts to issue before I will suspend that moniker. But kudos to you for trying to make up for your past sins from the bench by essentially telling the American Civil Liberties Union, Kaleidoscope Youth Center, Equality Ohio, and other woke organizations to just go away because a duly enacted state law that keeps boys from playing girls' sports, that keeps boys out of girls' spaces, that prohibits sexual mutilation surgery on minors, and makes illegal the prescribing of puberty blockers to minors, is now the law in the state of Ohio. So we are protected. And if you think I'm wrong, that the demons are not upset about this. I played yesterday after we spoke with Gary Click, the Ohio House of Representatives, I think it's District 88 member, who, along with Jenna Powell of Arcanum, led the way on getting this enacted into law. And they had a lot of help from the Republican supermajority. 0 Democrats, by the way, voted for this when they overrode Mike DeWine's veto. But just to give you a sense of the kind of mindset you're dealing with, here's a voicemail that I have poured a couple gallons of bleach on to clean up. Here's a voicemail left on the telephone line of Gary Click's office at the State House by someone who wants boys to be in girls' spaces, who wants to cut the genitals off minors, and who wants minors to irrevocably harm their bodies with puberty blockers. Just give a listen to the level of insanity in this message. I don't know why it's not playing. Hold on a second. Just give me a second. I know it's here. I know it's here. We'll try one more time. Here we go.
Hi, you subhuman, you retarded monkey piece of. Just
Classy.
to let you know that your anti-trans children healthcare bill is going to kill trans children.
No, it isn't.
Just wanted to let you know that when they commit suicide, you will be the reason they do it.
Nope, you will.
You are a and a rapscallion piece of trash. You are a subhuman degenerate whose hands will be stained with the blood of the trans children you killed. You are a murderer.
How do you reason with people like that? You can't. They're gripped by evil. But thankfully, the passage now into law of what was House Bill 68, which you can also call the SAFE Act, has forced the Ohio High School Athletic Association to amend its policy that I love how WCMH NBC4 writes this on their website. The OHSAA has amended a policy that allowed fewer than 10 transgender students to take part in athletics last school year, after a law went into effect banning trans athletes from participating in women's sports. Fewer than 10. And they have the requisite backpedaling from the OHSAA talking about how, this really wasn't a problem before. We had it under control. We had a great policy. It wasn't impacting girls' sports at all. And, it really wasn't in the state of Ohio, but not because of the policy, not because of the woke bend to the loud demonic left policy that the OHSAA had. The reason why we didn't have a Leah Thomas or one of these 2 Olympic boxers who will both go for the gold medal in domestic violence in Paris. The reason why we didn't have it is because we didn't have yet a transgender man. Well, actually, in their wicked parlance, it's a transgender woman, which is a man, because you can substitute the word fake, phony, fraudulent for the word transgender. The only reason we didn't have that issue in the state of Ohio is because the ones who were captured by this nonsense weren't of a performance level that they could inflict the kind of pain that we have seen around the country, where boys in Connecticut stole state championships from girls, where a girl in North Carolina has permanent brain issues because a boy masquerading as a girl spiked a volleyball into her head at the net. So the OHSAA contends that its policy was not damaging. It was not damaging just because of pure accident. And the number of transgenders competing in girls' sports was increasing. 6 in 2023, 7 in 2024. And the number was going to continue to go up, because when you abide deviant behavior, you are going to get more deviant behavior. And it's only a matter of time before a state championship or a scholarship or even an opportunity to be on a team and play a varsity sport is taken away from a girl, you might not ever hear of it, but there'll be a girl somewhere in the state of Ohio who really wants to make varsity and would get a lot of personal fulfillment, and their self-image would be increased by the fact that they got a varsity letter. But no, they didn't, because there was a boy who couldn't compete on the boys team, and he decided he would identify as a girl so he could steal an opportunity from a girl or work out some deep-seated psychological issue that he had, either of his own creation or just because he doesn't like girls and he wants to enact some kind of his own personal vengeance against them. I have zero sympathy for this. I have a lot of sympathy for the kids who were trapped in this lie, and zero sympathy for the people who, like this demonic idiot left this voicemail on Gary Click. They are the problem. They are the ones who are abiding this. Good parenting hopefully gets control of this issue. But hey, kids are susceptible to being programmed by social media, by Instagram, by Slack channels, by other things. So it's not always the fault of bad parenting. I want to make that clear. A lot of times great parents are still victimized by this mind virus that is out there in our communities. If you don't believe that it's out there in our communities, listen to a comment given to Channel 4 from a woman named Jen Kuhn, who is with Kaleidoscope Youth Center, which is one of these awful organizations that perpetuates this evil in children.
The initial reaction to the ruling is one of anger, for sure. HB 68 at its core is pretty monstrous bill.
Nope.
And it's just unfortunate that it's going immediately into effect, and sort of the impact that that's going to have now on our youth. A lot of our young people and their families in particular are going to have to ask the question, like, do I stay in Ohio? Do I need to leave?
No.
And for a lot of people, that's not economically feasible. I think our legislators need to have an awakening of sorts.
No, you need to have an awakening of sorts, and you need to stop with the nonsense. You need to stop with the histrionics, and you need to say that they need to leave. They don't need to leave. They just need to wait. They just need to wait until they come to the realization that they are not born in the wrong body, and that this delusion that you are abiding is not real. Now, speaking, of course, on the other side of the issue is Aaron Baer, Center for Christian Virtue, talking about the merits of House Bill 68, also known as the SAFE Act.
This is an incredible day for Ohio's women and children. Girls will be protected against being forced to compete against boys in athletics. We need to continue to protect parents' rights and continue to protect our kids from dangerous political ideologies that are being pushed on them. At the end of the day, no child is born in the wrong body. And it's harmful for people like the ACLU or Planned Parenthood to be going into our schools and suggesting that to kids.
Yeah, it definitely is. And if you're somebody who watches this show, the first hour of the show on my social media, Facebook sites, or YouTube, you're not able to watch it today. You know why you're not able to watch it today? Because I had Gary Click on the show yesterday, and because I posted some of that content or some of my commentary about the passage of the SAFE Act on those sites owned by Meta, and you're not allowed to say that on Meta. I don't care. I'm going to keep saying it because I say true things.
Humid this afternoon, high today at 89. Evening thunderstorm in the area tonight, otherwise clouds and more, low 72. Partly sunny, humid tomorrow, the high 84. Tomorrow night clear to partly cloudy, low 57. Saturday sunny to partly cloudy, less humid day, high at 76. Sunshine, terrific day on Sunday, high at 77. Some occasional sunshine on Monday, the high 80. I'm Steve Williams on 98.9 FM, The Answer.
If you have arthritis pain, you know it is awful because it is constant and because it robs you of the ability to do so many things you love to do. But there are effective ways to deal with arthritis pain. So many people here in Columbus have been able to get relief without medication or surgery. I'm Bruce Hooley, and I'm happy to tell you about QC Kinetics, which offers you exciting new cellular therapies that can give you lasting relief. QC Kinetics has clinics in Dublin and Gahanna ready to serve you. Dr. Ray Tessner and his staff at QC Kinetics use cutting-edge treatments that accelerate your own body's healing properties, which revitalizes your joints so you can move again. If you're living with chronic pain from arthritis or injury, you need to know that steroids and surgery and pain pills are no longer your only option. Learn how QC Kinetics can help you. Go to qckinetics.com/Columbus. QCkinetics.com/Columbus, or call 380-208-4544, 380-208-4544. That's 380-208-4544, QC Kinetics.
War has played a key role in the history of the United States, from the nation's founding right down to the present. Wars made the United States independent, kept it together, increased its size, and established it as a global superpower. Hi, I'm James Early, host of the Key Battles of American History podcast. In each episode, I discuss American history through the lens of the most important battles of America's wars. To start listening now, go to parthenonpodcast.com or search Key Battles of American History on your favorite podcasting platform.
Are you under the impression that a metal roof costs 2 or 3 times more than a shingle roof? No, it doesn't. Hi, folks. I'm Dan Tolan, owner of The Metal Roof Company. As your foremost metal roofing authority in Central Ohio, I can promise you inexpensive roof to buy because it's the last roof you'll ever buy. With lifetime warranties and a variety of financing options, give us a call at 721-ROOF, 721-ROOF, or reach out to us on the web at themetalroofcompany.com. Financial Group is not a law firm.
Are you a victim of the timeshare trap and think there's no way out? I'm Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group, the original timeshare cancellation expert. And I'm here to tell you that there is a way out. All you need to do is give my office a call. I will send you a timeshare exit information kit absolutely free, explaining how the timeshare industry works and your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley now for your free info kit. 800-511-1551. 800-511-1551.
For anyone with everyday aches and pains, I've got a question. What are you missing out on? Probably a lot. So let me tell you about Relief Factor. Relief Factor is a drug-free daily supplement that helps your body fight pain naturally. It doesn't just mask pain, it helps reduce or even eliminate it. In about 3 weeks, you'll discover what it's like to feel better. Go to relieffactor.com or call 1-800-4RELIEF and save on your first order. That's 1-800-4-RELIEF.
Feel like you're trying to push a boulder uphill wearing skates? If you run or manage a local business today, you're challenged like never before. We get it, and we want to help. We're Salem Surround. We're a full-service marketing agency that'll help you increase your customer base by designing incredibly effective plans to reach your consumers day, night, and everywhere they might be.
If you're a local business and want to see what Salem Surround can do for you, Google Salem Surround Columbus. Remember to Google Salem Surround Columbus today.
Steaks are good if you get good steak. If you don't get good steak, I can help you with that. Riverbend Ranch steaks are fantastic. They have no hormones, no antibiotics in them, and you can put your own bundle together that you have shipped to your door every month or every other month. Do other meat buying services give you that option? No, they do not. And do other meat buying services give you the certainty that every piece of steak, every beef, every aspect of your order comes from one ranch where they can control the entire process? No, you don't know. Maybe you get a steak from Good Ranchers and it doesn't have any hormones or antibiotics in it, but you can't be sure. I know one thing I'll be sure of. If you get it from Good Ranchers, you'll pay more than you do if you get it from riverbendranchsteaks.com. So go to riverbendranchsteaks.com/Bruce Hooley and get that awesome Black Angus beef that all cuts are rated USDA Choice and Prime. Shipped right to your doorstep. Flash frozen. You will love it. I promise you that. riverbendranchsteaks.com/Bruce Hooley. Well, your mayor, Andrew Ginther, says that none of the information that was hacked from the city has been published online, although the people who hacked it and seem to have the upper hand in this cyber war say that it has. Now, that may not be true. They may just be messing with the city again. In order to induce the city to settle with them, the going price is 30 Bitcoin or nearly $2 million. And I know you're thinking what I'm thinking. Man, back when you used to pay for a pizza with 5 Bitcoin, I should have invested in Bitcoin. Yes, probably so. At any rate, the group that took the data, surveillance video, building information, and here's the hard truth, personal information of employees, and now has what they say are 6.5 terabytes of data. I don't really know my terabyte from a taco bite, but I know that's a lot of data because it says here that printed out 6.5 terabytes of data would fill 42 million document pages. 42 million. Yikes. That's quite the stack of paper. So the city's been crippled since basically a month because of this. They've taken a lot of their services offline. The group that took the data says that they've leaked half of it. But again, that's done kind of more as a threat than as a reality. Now, NBC4 talked to, Channel 10, Lacey Crisp talked to a person by the name of Nanda Harikumar from a online cyber watchdog group. And she says these are threat tactics they are playing with the city of Columbus. I don't know how the city fixes this without paying the money. And we all know the city loves to waste money. They pay out enormous settlements to people who sue the city before there's ever a court verdict forcing them to pay. So I don't know, maybe this $2 million would come out of Andy's golfing budget, and maybe that's why he's not paying it. I don't know. We have had police officers, according to FOP Lodge 9, who have had money taken from their bank accounts. But don't worry, the city has offered credit monitoring to all current employees. I would sleep well knowing that if I were a Columbus police officer. I would sleep very well knowing that I take my life in my hands every day, go out, try to protect the city. If I have to fire my weapon because someone is firing at me, or I'm not sure what they have in their hand, I'm supposed to either let them shoot me, or I'm supposed to wait until I know for sure that that's a set of keys or a cell phone in the guy's hand. Because if I fire first, I'm going to be brought up on charges, and the city is going to try to put me in jail. And then they're going to offer me free credit monitoring when my money gets taken out of my bank account. Man, who wouldn't want to respond to that job posting from the city of Columbus? The cybersecurity online expert tells Channel 10, threat actors love to create drama. That is another reason why this could happen, meaning they threat to publish half the data. They create a lot of drama. They crave a lot of attention. Well, they're getting it. And somebody in the city either clicked on a link they shouldn't have clicked on, or they made a big mistake. And now a lot of people, innocent people, are paying for that. Lieutenant Rodney Osborne was an innocent person. He was an officer of considerable excellence and great standing, loved by his fellow officers at the Corrections Training Academy in Pickaway County when he was tragically shot and killed a couple of months ago in what is still a very mysterious circumstance. Yesterday, the person charged with his death, negligent homicide charges filed against 44-year-old David Pearson, who is the man that apparently shot Lieutenant Osborne just above his bulletproof vest during a training exercise. Officers rushed Lieutenant Osborne to the nearest hospital, but he died. And I saw a picture of the investigative report obtained by Rodney Osborne's family, and it's just a bunch of black lines. Everything has been redacted from it, everything. Here is the attorney for the family of Rodney Osborne talking about the fact that they don't have a lot of answers yet, and they are hoping to get them. I think they are owed them. Maybe it's not the time for them to get them, but they certainly are owed answers as to what happened to their husband and father.
We don't have a narrative either. We're waiting for the unredacted investigation. Right now, when I print it, all the black ink is out on my printer. So we're all anxious to see what really happened, who's going to come forward and tell us the truth. We just want justice, but there's no justice or accountability with a misdemeanor when an officer of his great demeanor and stature is now gone forever.
Yeah, that's a tragedy all the way around. I mean, there's no way that this officer who fired the weapon meant to harm, much less kill, Rodney Osborne. He's charged with a misdemeanor, and the family is not happy with that. I don't know what the right answer is to this. How could I know what the right answer is to this? We don't have any details on how it happened. Was it a careless handling of a firearm, which you should never point a firearm at someone else unless you intend to shoot them? Was he careless with, stewarding the weapon in his hand? We just don't know. but no indication that this was intentional, no indication that this was malicious. Nevertheless, it's a reality. And I can understand why the family of Rodney Osborne is hurting and hurting very badly, given everything that I've heard said about him since his very, very tragic death. Now, I have the latest polls on the Sherrod Brown-Bernie Moreno race in the Ohio Senate. Brown had a pretty solid 6-point lead in just about every poll. Figures, name recognition, when you've been in politics since 1975, which Sherrod Brown has, 49 years. He's 71 years old. When did you retire? At 71? I bet you retired before that. Not Sherrod. He's ready to strap on the burden of being a U.S. Senator for another 6 years. Nobody else in the Democratic Party in the state of Ohio, nobody younger, ready to shoulder that load. Sherrod, get it done for the working man. Saw a commercial today where he's out in a farm field. Man, I bet that's the first time he's had mud on any set of footwear he's worn since his last Senate campaign, probably. Bernie Moreno is making inroads because Bernie Moreno is right now on a 17-city tour throughout the state of Ohio. Not to Columbus, not to Dayton, not to Cincinnati. Bernie's going to the small towns in Ohio, and he is interacting with actual voters. Imagine that. Daryl Rowland writes for WSYX Channel 6 website that Bernie Moreno was in Chillicothe, and he noticed across the street from him some protesters saying disparaging things against him. So what did Bernie do? The same thing Sherrod Brown does when you mention, hey, when's Kamala Harris coming to town? When are you debating Bernie Moreno? Sherrod turns tail and runs like he's auditioning to be a wide receiver on the Cleveland Browns. Bernie went across the street and talked to the people who were mocking him. And of course, one of them was the Reverend Terry Williams of Orchard Hill United Church of Christ in Chillicothe. This is what we need. This is what we need. Idiots like this in the pastorate who advocate for Sherrod Brown, rampant abortion proponent.
South Carolina. Troopers closed part of Interstate 95 in North Carolina. That's after water covered the freeway. The storm spawned an apparent tornado early Thursday that damaged at least 4 houses, a church, and a school in Wilson County, North Carolina, east of Raleigh. Also at townhall.com, unemployment applications have dipped lower from the prior week, but remain slightly elevated. Jackie Quinn has the numbers.
The Labor Department reports the number of Americans filing for jobless benefits fell last week after a jarring report on weakness in the labor market. Jobless claims for last week fell by 17,000, better than what analysts were expecting, landing at 233,000. This was the first snapshot of the labor market since last week's disappointing jobs report for July, which sent financial markets into a tailspin with fears it signaled a recession. I'm Jackie Quinn.
On Wall Street, stocks are climbing after a better than expected report on the job market eased some of the worries about the slowing economy. The Dow hit 525 points, the Nasdaq up 366. More at townhall.com.
Mostly cloudy and humid this afternoon. The high today at 89. Evening thunderstorm in the area tonight. Otherwise, clouds and more. Low 72. Partly sunny, humid tomorrow. The high 84. Tomorrow, light clear to partly cloudy. Low 57. Saturday, sunny to partly cloudy. Less humid day. High at 76. Sunshine, terrific day on Sunday. High at 77. Some occasional sunshine on Monday. The high 80. I'm Steve Williams on 98.9 FM. The Answer.
This is Dennis Prager. Now you can listen to my show when it's convenient for you and without censorship from big tech. Become a member of the ultimate online community for all things Prager. It's Pragertopia Unlimited. Listen to every radio show over the last 10 years, all commercial free. You can even listen to all my Torah teachings for free. Join today and save 25% off the first year and get a free Pragertopia coffee mug. Go to Pragertopia.com or click the banner at DennisPrager.com.
With SRN Sport, I'm Jeremy House. At the Summer Olympics in Paris, Quincy Hall became the latest American to electrify Olympic track and field with an out-of-nowhere comeback, sprinting from far behind in the 400 meters to reel in 3 runners and capture the gold medal. Hall, buried in 4th place as the runners rounded the last bend, outran the runner on his outside, then 2 more to the inside to cross the line in 43.40 seconds, the 4th fastest time ever. Elsewhere, U.S. men's basketball coach Steve Kerr knows something unexpected is going to happen when his team plays against Serbia in the semifinals of the Paris Olympics tonight. Maybe Serbia will change its lineup, or maybe the surprise will be there will be no surprise at all. Whatever the case, Kerr knows the Americans have to be ready for anything. This is SRN Sports. Major League Baseball, the Philadelphia Phillies beat the LA Dodgers 9-4 last night.
What a night for Kyle Schwarber. The Phillies leadoff man homered 3 times and drove in 7 runs. Schwarber led off the game with a homer. He hit a 2 RBI double in the 5th inning, a 3-run home run in the 6th, and a solo shot in the 9th. Rookie Tyler.
Sir. Jared Haig from NBC News. You have repeatedly suggested only reason Kamala Harris didn't pick Josh.
Other National League winners were San Francisco, Miami, Milwaukee, San Diego, and the New York Mets. Who were in the American League, winners included Houston, Oakland, Baltimore, City, and Detroit. New York Yankees and LA Angels split a doubleheader. Interleague winners included St. Louis and the Chicago Cubs, while Arizona took 2 from Cleveland. This is SRN Sports.
Portions of the following program may be pre-recorded. This message is for anyone looking for $500,000 to $1 million or more of affordable term life insurance, even if you have diabetes, high blood pressure, or taking anxiety meds. Here's an example. If you're a 50-year-old male, maybe overweight with type 2 diabetes, $1 million of term life insurance may only cost about $200 a month. We're Term Provider, experts in finding affordable term life insurance for those that may not be in perfect health. If you've had prostate cancer, heart conditions, high cholesterol, or on prescription medications, you may still qualify for $500,000 to $1 million or more of affordable term life insurance. Get a quick quote by calling Term Provider at 800-568-2790, 800-568-2790. If you're looking for term life insurance but have type 2 diabetes, high blood pressure, or have other health issues, call Term Provider at 800-568-2790 or visit termprovider.com. Termprovider.com.